Soil makes up the outermost layer of our planet and is formed from rocks and decaying plants and animals. Soil has varying amounts of organic material, living and dead organisms, minerals, and nutrients. Topsoil is the most productive soil layer. Natural processes can take more than 500 years to form 2 centimeters of topsoil. Roots loosen the soil, allowing oxygen to penetrate. This benefits animals living in the soil. The roots also hold soil together and prevent erosion. Soil stores 10% of the world's carbon dioxide emissions. All soil types have a specific structure. Let's start at the top. The top layer is made up of organic material. The plow zone is the depth of tillage on arable land. This layer would be fairly consistent in structure in that it is being turned over on a regular basis. The subsoil, or zone of accumulation, often has accumulations of iron, clay, aluminum, and organic material. This layer of weathering soil will contain little organic material. It has not been affected very much by the weathering process. It may have bits and pieces of unweathered parental material in it. The bedrock, or the parent material, is a consistent layer of material that has suffered no erosion. We will now look at some specific soil types. Podzols are typical soils of coniferous or boreal forests. They are also the typical soils of a eucalyptus forest and the heathlands in southern Australia. These soils are found in areas that are wet and cold, for example in northern Ontario or in Russia, and also in warm areas such as Florida, where the sandy soils have fluctuating water tables. Most podzols are poor soils for agriculture. Some of them are sandy and excessively drained. Others have shallow rooting zones and poor drainage due to subsoil cementation. The gray-brown podzol soils are freely drained soils that have a distinctive clay-enriched horizon. The soil develops under temperate woodlands which have moderate rainfall and forms very good pasture land after deforestation. They differ from the podzols in that leaching is less intense and the soil color is brownish. Deciduous forests, maple, beech, and oak grow on these soils. These trees bring the base nutrients up from the lower horizons, returning them to the surface as dead leaves and branches. Thus the soil is replenished by these bases in a way not found in the podzols. When treated with lime and fertilizers, the gray podzolic soil makes highly productive farms on which diversified crop farming and dairying are well developed. Gray-brown podzolic soils are also found in the Pacific Northwest and on summit areas in the Rocky Mountains. Latosol is a name given to soils found under tropical rainforests. They are red or yellowish red in color throughout, and they do not have distinct horizons like a podzol. The red color comes from oxides of iron and aluminum which remain in the soil. They are deep soils, often 20 to 30 meters, whereas podzols are 1 to 2 meters deep. The soil generally contains a thin but very fertile layer of humus dropped from plants and animals in the forest above, followed by an infertile second layer due to rapid leaching in the high rainfall. The third level, the weathered bedrock, is common to almost all soil types. The latosol is completely reliant on the rainforest to maintain its fertility, as all nutrients leach away quickly when the forest is felled and the layer of humus is no longer being replaced. Chernozem soils are found in a semi-arid climate. A typical Chernozem profile appears to consist essentially of 2 layers. Immediately beneath a grass sod is a black layer, 0.6 to 1 meter thick, rich in humus. Below this, there is a line of demarcation into a light-colored area. Chernozem soils are rich in calcium. It has been noted that they have developed in a parent material that's rich in calcium carbonate. These soils are important in the United States and Canada, where they form a north-south belt starting in Alberta and Saskatchewan and running through the Great Plains of the United States to central Texas. A similar area lies in Argentina. Other areas are mapped in Australia and Manchuria. Climate has long thought to be a determining factor in the development of Chernozem soils. Aridity is therefore a definite contributing cause. The continental location of a Chernozem's area makes for hot summers and cold winters. Drought periods with strong evaporation dries out the soil, and forests cannot exist. Instead, grasses which can withstand drought readily and which are tolerant to soils with excesses of mineral salts flourish on Chernozem soils. Steppe grasslands and prairies are the natural vegetation of the middle latitude Chernozem. Chernozem soils are a group of soils found in cool to temperate arid regions. It is brownish-gray at the surface with a lighter layer below and is based on a carbonate or hardpan layer. The texture of the soil is sandy loam to silt. It is deficient in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. In some irrigated tracts, alkalinity and salinity pose a problem. Wind erosion is a serious matter in areas where this soil group is predominant.